It was such a slippery slope the way it all started, in that I was never point blank asked to participate in a fraud. There was more of the corporate culture of we're focused solely on performance, on results. But what I didn't recognize at the time was that we would do anything to get there in terms of results. And my background, I was very hungry when I went to work for the company. This seemed like a great career opportunity, a way to do well. And I bought into this mindset of, hey, I'm going to make some things happen. But I didn't really have the discernment at that time to recognize that some of the things that I was being coached into doing, being groomed into doing, were way across the line. I look back on it now and I'm thinking, what was I thinking? What on earth was I thinking? And I blame that on a few things. I blame that maybe a little bit on being naive going into the business world. I had been in the audit world, and this is my first career job with a firm. But in many ways also there was some greed involved as well. I've got to admit that. The allure of stock options and bonuses and doing well, and at that point I thought, there's this tremendous financial opportunity here. And that wasn't driven off of fraud. It was driven off of the company itself, this great idea, and wanting to do well financially off of that. And it slid downhill from there. Again, some of the early incentives were to do well, to grow, to be a team player, to help the company be successful, without realizing that maybe some of these shortcuts that we were taking had lifelong implications, lifelong consequences, not recognizing that at the time. Continuing to drink the Kool-Aid of, well, this is just a one-time thing and we'll move forward from here. So it was that slippery slope that I started on. But then the consequences grew from there. The accounting itself, in the early days anyway, seemed somewhat innocent in terms of, well, if the auditors find this, it's simply an audit adjustment. We'll make the adjustments and go on along our way. But it moved from there to one of absolute outright financial statement fraud, no questions asked. And of course the consequences of that being time in prison. So I went through this spiral of being hungry, wanting to conquer the world, do well, to getting a lot of these things, big house and stuff that went along with it, to the one of kind of being trapped inside at the same time of, oh my, this has gone on a long time, and if we get caught, we're all going to jail. How do I protect myself from that? How do I avoid the embarrassment on my children of their dad's a crook, which is what it came down to at some point. So it was a long, spiraling process.